this first objective. So this is a statement by Bertrand Russell. In all history, nothing is so surprising or so difficult to account for as the sudden rise of civilization in Greece. So there were certainly environmental and cultural and political and literary and religious antecedents, but what we're concerned about is just, okay, what happened? How did philosophy arise? And so that's what we'll be talking about. So at this time in ancient Greece, we're talking 500, 600 BCE. And in order to account for things, people would there were mythological explanations. So why is it raining? Why is there lightning and thunder? The gods are angry, or the gods are doing something. Why does it get dark? And then that mythology kind of shifted to like Aesop's fables, where we're starting to talk about, we have these moral maxims or these stories that may not be giving an explanation, but they're indicating that people are becoming a little more reflective. They're not just living life, but they're criticizing, they're analyzing life. But their explanations are more poetic. They're more imaginative. Like, here's what's happening and why. It's these supernatural explanations, these imaginative, not logical, not natural. And what happens with philosophy is we're shifting from these mythological explanations to natural, logical explanations. And that is kind of the rise of philosophy. And this is a passage from Frank Thilly's History of Philosophy that kind of captures this. But philosophy arises when fancy is superseded by reason, imagination by intellect, when the supernatural agencies are abandoned as principles of explanation, and facts of experience made the basis of investigation and explanation. It is an effort to account for things and occurrences in a more or less impartial and unprejudiced way, independently of the popular mythology and unhampered by immediate practical needs. So this is how philosophy starts. So it begins with this focus on natural philosophy. What makes up the world? What is the stuff? And in most every philosophy course, they start with Thales, and his jump is just to say, okay, he kind of poses it in the most direct way. What is it that makes up the world? And he's going to say that it's water. And everything else is just different manifestations of water. And after Thales, so there's Thales and Anaximander and Anaximenes that are three. They're from Milesia, and they are kind of the three first philosophers that kind of get grouped, and they overlapped with each other. So they were kind of responding to each other also. So Thales says, yeah, it's water. Water is the basis. You see water turn into steam or ice. So everything is just a manifestation of water. And then Anaximander will say that the apeiron, and he's just saying, if you're going to say water, what justifies or what explains water? And so he's going to say it's this other stuff. It's this apeiron, which just means limitless stuff. It's this great mass of undifferentiated substance. That's the stuff. And then Anaximenes will say, yeah, it is one and it's infinite, like Anaximander said, but it's determinate, it's air. And everything else is just from air rarefying or air condensing. And he's going to say, or it may be because air is kind of the life-giving element for us, that maybe that's the rationale. But anyway, he's going to say air. So we've got these three kind of statements on what is the ultimate reality: water, apeiron, and air. And then, so now we're shifting to that second objective, summarize the history of the development of the idea of ultimate reality in Western philosophy. So we're starting with these three, Thales, Anaximander, and Anaximenes, and they've given their answers.